Welcome, seekers. You have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. My name is Ricky, and today I bring you another pick a card tarot reading. The title of this pick a card is How People See You as a Couple. Now, this pick a card tarot reading is for people who are currently in a relationship, or for those that want to know how people will see you once you have found that person. You can also have some fun with this reading and see how people will see you and your current crush, secret admirer, crush, and see how people will see you as a couple with that person. Also, before we get started, I want to remind you, seekers, that I started a Patreon page where I will be offering exclusive pick a card weekly readings. I also decided to add a raffle for a free private reading. Okay, a free private reading. I will be announcing the winner at the end of every single month. Now, you must be a patron to be entered into the raffle. The link is going to be in the description below so that you can visit that Patreon page. All right, let's go ahead and get started, seekers. In front of you, you have three groups. You have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Take a moment to pick the stone that you like the most. Possibly the number you like the most. I am going to include the timestamps in the description. Welcome, group number 1. Welcome to your pick a card tarot reading, trying to answer the question, how will people see you as a couple? Now, before we get started, I want to give you a quick reminder. This is important for you seekers. I started a Patreon page, and I would like your support. I will be offering exclusive pick a card weekly readings in that Patreon page. Also, I have decided to add a raffle for a free private reading. I will be announcing a winner at the end of every month. You must be a patron to be entered into that raffle for a free private reading. The link is going to be in the description below. All right, so in front of you, seekers, you have a card from the Gratitude Oracle deck by Angela Hartfield. And let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly, what is the message here? What is the actual theme of this reading? Reveal. Interesting. All right. So reveal. This is nice. There's a lot of color here. There's definitely an incredible amount of beauty. You've got just so much life, so much radiance, so much, honestly, just so much excitement. And there's definitely an energy here of growth. There's an energy here of almost just serene beauty. And, you do have a couple here, and all these animals come in couples, so it's pretty interesting. So this card and this keyword, reveal, it's essentially talking to us about the theme of what people will see when they look at both of you. So for one thing, I'm seeing beauty, physical beauty. They're going to see this person, they're going to see you, and they're going to say, wow, these people are beautiful. They're physically beautiful. This is also the fact that the keyword is reveal. We could be revealing something, some inner beauty. And so, potentially people are just going to see the inner beauty in both of you. If you both come and start talking, try and make friends, they're going to see kind of the dynamics between the two of you. And that's going to seem very beautiful to that person. Now, this could be a friend, family member, but we are going to dive into it a little deeper, We're going to try and get a deeper understanding with the tarot of what else they might see. So we're going to go ahead and use the Star Tarot for this one. So you guys know this is my favorite tarot deck. So we're going to use it. Let's see what this Star Tarot has to tell us. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle. And let's go ahead and start with family. Or actually, let's start with friends. Why not friends? Interesting. All right, let's move on to family. All right, you've got some pretty dynamic cards here. So we're going to start with talking about how your friends are essentially going to see you. So what we have here is the Emperor. And so the Emperor is a pretty awesome card. I like the Emperor when it comes to an understanding of how people will actually see you. The fact that they will see the Emperor, it's just talking about structure, right? It's talking about the ability to essentially make or create order out of chaos. So, whenever you start a new relationship, whenever you start something new, a new journey, a new path with someone, there is a lot of chaos. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of, what might happen. Is this the right person? Are they going to break my heart? Are they the one? There's so many questions. And so there's so much chaos in the whole process, some people, they just kind of mesh right into it, right? Others, it's just a little harder. And so there's a dynamic there that needs to be addressed. And so when people look at you, and this is for friends and just people in general, when they look at you, the fact that they're seeing the Emperor means that there's order. And so it's like, okay, these people are obviously, they've worked things out. They have good communication. They understand what they need to do. They know that they like each other. They have their stuff together. They know what they want to do. There's a dynamic there. There's a structure. There's a foundation to this relationship. There's a foundation to this couple. And this couple can do anything. They can build anything. They can go anywhere. These people are rulers of their kingdom and their domain. And so there's a sense here that, people respect you. People will respect you as a couple. People will see the value in it. Now, the second card is the Hanged One. And the Hanged One is interesting because it's almost like the complete opposite of the Emperor. And that is definitely something to talk about because it's like, I almost get the feeling that a lot of people, 50% of the people that you come in contact with will see that structure, will see that stability. The other 50% will not. They won't see that stability. They won't essentially in some ways, they're going to feel like this relationship was hurried. Okay, like this, like you two as a couple were just like, moved maybe a bit too quickly, right? The hangman or the hanged one is someone who essentially is just kind of letting everything go, just going with the flow of life, right? Just, there was this sense of being patient. There's this sense of waiting things out. There's a sense of like, I'm going to sacrifice the now in order for the future. And so the fact that it's reversed tells me that the hangman has been activated. And perhaps it wasn't the time to do it. Perhaps this has been a little hasty. And so at a time when there should have been inaction in order to produce a positive result, there was too much action and it's producing a negative result. So again, keep in mind, this is how people see you. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is what the relationship is, but you have to take into account people's experiences, right? And who they are and why they feel this way. But a good percentage of your friends and just society as a whole, when they see you, when they talk to you, a good percentage of them, they're going to say, okay, this was too hurried. This relationship, this couple is a bit forced. I think that there is so much more that needs to be talked about and expressed. And so some of them will ask themselves, why are they even together? They were just too quick, right? This relationship just developed way too quickly. There's still things that need to be worked out. Now, I asked for a clue as to why this negative outlook was there. And I got the Justice card reversed. So just some people are simply not going to like one of you two. I just got to be honest here. This is what the cards are saying. The fact that you've got the Justice card reversed, it just means that, number one, it talks about people's negative outlook. A lot of people who see you as a couple and see you two are happy and see the magic involved in it, they hate a little bit, right? They want that for themselves. So immediately they're going to start, acting a certain way, and they're going to start lying to themselves. That's their ego just kind of, pointing out the flaws, right? And so that's why you've got the Justice card reversed. So it's just kind of a negative outlook that these people maybe perhaps have in their own personal lives. But also, this can be revealing. This is revealing about their feelings about either one of you, right? So there's a dislike for perhaps you. There's a dislike for them, and so that kind of clouds everything. It clouds the you two as a couple. It just clouds their vision, that person's vision. Now, again, we go right back to the theme of the reading, right? Reveal, and we have this sense of beauty and complete wonder, and my goodness, so much beauty in this card. And so, what I feel that this card is telling us is that the great majority of people who are well balanced and know what to be looked for, they're going to see the beauty. They're going to see the emperor. And these are people that are genuinely happy for others. These are people that genuinely care for you and for them, and genuinely care for the growth and development of society. These are your light workers, your star seeds. These are just people that are filled with light. These are people that are well balanced. They can look at a situation and say, okay, I understand that thing for what it is. So that is kind of the energy that you two are going to just be radiating. Now, let's move on to family. All right, we've got two interesting cards. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have two interesting cards for family. So we've got the Five of Cups reversed and the Five of Wands upright for family and what they're going to think, their outlook, and what they're going to think of this union of this couple. And the Five of Cups is a card where it signals this sense of almost like being upset. You've got here someone who's essentially crying over these three spilled cups. They've completely overlooked the other two cups behind them filled with beauty. There's a sun that's rising, signaling joy. But all they can do is focus on these cups that have just fallen and the rains coming down. And so I feel that your family members, and this goes for both, they're going to be upset that the relationship is how it is. And I feel like maybe it's because they're having to let go of something, or they're feeling like they're losing something. And the fact that they feel like they're losing something, or they're losing maybe control, they just can't get over that, right? They can't get over the fact that something has changed, and now things are not going to be the same again. And so they're kind of worrying about that change instead of looking at the beauty that this relationship essentially is and will be. So, that's on them. Now, the Five of Wands talks a little bit more about this kind of energy and what the family members are feeling inside. So you have here a woman that's holding on to the something that she found, which is completely beautiful, and it almost feels like those flowers are everything to her, right? That is the most positive thing in her life at this moment. And around her, what you have is complete chaos. You've got a volcano erupting. That's just emotions going just rampant, right? And so essentially what we have here is a family that internally is just very upset at what's going on, and the fact that there's this change, and maybe it felt so sudden. And I feel like maybe potentially they didn't want this change to come so quickly. And so they're going to view it in that kind of negative light. That's what I see here. All right, so let's throw some oracle cards and let's try and get an understanding of this relationship. Maybe we can get a little more information on just in general, what other people will see, what those will turn into. Let's see. What do we get? Wisdom, remember. All right. So it's interesting that we've got this wisdom card next to the Emperor. I feel like the people that have this wisdom and understanding and this sense of knowing, they're going to look at you too, and they're going to say, wow, this is beautiful, right? They're going to remember. It's like you are going to take them back to a time of bliss. You're going to take those people back to a time of beauty. You're going to take those people back to a time when everything was good. Everything was so vibrant and beautiful. And so, this is very much going to inspire them. Your relationship will inspire them. It'll bring up those memories, and those memories are just so beautiful to them that they're going to feel inspired. They're going to feel like, wow, this is truly beautiful. This is something. All right, so let's go ahead and throw a card from the Eyes of the Soul. We're going to throw just one through the Eyes of the Soul card. Let's see what we get. You are cherished and protected. Oh boy. All right, so I guess we're now headed towards more messages towards you. Okay, I want to now transition. Now that we know exactly, what family, friends, what people will think, society as a whole. There's not much that we can say there, but we're going to use these oracle cards to kind of give you a message. The person watching this, we'll see where the cards take us. So you are cherished and protected. And so this is very much this future relationship that you're thinking of having. This relationship will be in many ways protected by spirit. You are going to learn the lessons that this relationship has to offer you. You're going to be able to extract the value that you need. There's an energy here of spirit telling you, listen, this relationship, this person that you're maybe planning on being with, whether it be a crush, an admirer, whether it just be you in a relationship right now, or whether it just be, potentially your future spouse, your future husband, your future partner, this relationship is going to seem like, okay, I am protected. Everything is going to go just fine. There's this angelic kind of energy that says nothing will happen to you while you're in this relationship, and everything will prosper. You're going to learn the right lessons, and you will receive the blessings that have been in many ways sent out to you. You just have to kind of throw that net out and grab them. So those blessings will be there. You're not going to miss out on anything once this relationship comes into existence for you. So let's go ahead and keep it going. We're going to throw a card from the Sacred Forest. And let's see what the Sacred Forest has to give us. We've got here Reflecting Pool, Stillness. Okay, number 33, interesting. Reflecting Pool, Stillness. All right. So this card is essentially an advice for you, group number 1. You're being asked to, in some ways, for some of you, to be still, to wait, to reflect, and to really think deeply as to why. Why do you want this? And this can be for a variety of different people, right? If you're someone who potentially this is a crush, you're being asked to really reflect on this connection, and potentially ask yourself some deep questions as to why. So don't take any kind of irrational action. Don't try and push anything. Don't try and force anything. Just wait. And it also talks about for those people who are in a current relationship right now, it's talking about being still, letting things happen, letting things come to you, not forcing anything as well. So if you're currently in any kind of like altercation or something is going on, there's an energy of maybe a little bit of chaos going on. Well, wait and be patient, and things will start to just smooth out. And for those of you who are waiting for that future partner, you're being told to not have this energy of fear, right? Fear of not finding love. Let go of that fear. Just be still for a moment, reflect where you are right now, focus on you, enjoy being by yourself, because when this energy comes, it's going to give you so much. So be still. All right, we are going to throw another card. Trying to decide which card. We're going to throw a High Priestess card. We're going to see what the High Priestess wants to share with us. Power and difficulty. Ooh, interesting. So this card, essentially by the High Priestess, is one that talks about reclaiming your power over difficulty, reclaiming your power. And this is interesting. It's almost like if potentially the reason why you need to be still and the reason why you need to just wait and see everything with just kind of an insightful mind and intuitive nature is because if you act out of this desperative energy where it's like, I'm going to miss out on love, then you're going to end up doing desperate things. And so it's important for you to not give your power. Let things come to you and then you make a decision. That is the ultimate secret. That is the way that you are able to, for you, group number 1 specifically, that's how you reclaim your power. You are the master of your world. And when something comes into your world, you have the power to say, okay, this is acceptable, this is not. I'm going to go ahead and take this path, right? So that's how you reclaim your power. Be still. Those are the final pieces of advice that I see here from Spirit to you, group number 1. So I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I want to remind you, seekers, about my Patreon page. So the link is down below. Again, I will be offering exclusive Pick a Card weekly readings there. And I'm adding a raffle for a free private reading. All right. And I will be announcing the winner of that raffle at the end of every single month. You must be a patron to be entered into that raffle. So the link is down in the description below. Thank you once again. Bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2. Welcome to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Trying to answer the question, how people see you as a couple. Before we get started, I want to remind you once again that I started a Patreon page where I will be offering exclusive Pick a Card weekly readings. I also decided to add a raffle for a free private reading. I will be announcing the winner at the end of every single month for that free private reading. You must be a patron to be entered into the raffle. So the link is going to be in the description below. All right, so seekers, in front of you, you have an oracle card that's going to represent the theme of today's reading. This is from the Gratitude Oracle deck by Angela Hartfield. Let's take a look and see what the theme is, shall we? Patience. Oh, wow. That's nice. I like that. And I love the illustration here, right? There's a woman who's just kind of walking through a forest, and she's looking upon these 2 people who are going through something, and it looks like they might be going through a bit of a struggle. So interesting. And then you've got all these butterflies as a symbol of transformation. So we're going to go ahead and put some tarot cards around this one to get a deeper understanding of why patience is the theme of your reading today. We're going to use the Star Tarot. Let's take a look. All right, so here we are. This is for friends, society as a whole. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about family. All right, interesting reading. My. Very interesting reading. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first 2 cards, I kind of broke it down into 2 sections. I wanted to see how your friends, how society would view you. And so these are the first 2 cards, and then we went down to family. And then the final card is just a representation of essentially why. Why is it that that these people view you this way? So anyways, for friends, we have the 6 of Swords reverse and the 5 of Cups reverse. And the 6 of Swords reverse is talking about a journey. It's talking about going somewhere. It's talking about, taking the leap and transitioning. So the fact that it's reversed tells me that people are simply, they're not going to adjust very quickly to this relationship. I think that they're going to feel like these people rushed a little bit too into this. And perhaps they shouldn't have. And perhaps they shouldn't be together completely. I think that people in society, they're just going to look at you and say, these people are polar opposites. What are they doing together? And so there's a worry there. There's a bit of anxiety there with these people. So it feels like this other person, whether they be a crush, whether they be a future partner, it seems like that, people are going to pick up on the fact that there are differences there, and maybe those differences are not going to, in some ways, assist you, Now, with the Five of Cups reversed, I feel like they also see a bit of sadness as well. This could be with one or the other, potentially. I feel like with this Five of Cups, society and your friends kind of look at you and say, okay, there's some bad emotions here. There's some bad emotions kind of brewing, and this could be you, this could be them, one of the two, right? Or both of you. It's like maybe they notice something that just they don't like, and they don't really just think that is right for a couple, and it has to do with emotions. Maybe someone has volatile emotions, or maybe they just don't want to essentially hang out the way that you used to hang out, and this is very much a friends, what your friends think. So potentially, this person might have friends that they don't like, maybe they just, the energies with these people, it's just not there, there's no true connection with these people. Potentially when you hang out with them, there might be almost a revulsion. It's like, look, we don't like this person just because we don't like it. We don't like the things that this person chooses to talk about. And so there's definitely an energy here of just not liking potentially you, not liking potentially them, their friends not liking you, your friends not liking them. So there's definitely something going on here when it comes to friends. Now, for family, I'm seeing a very favorable reading. You've got the Knight of Wands and you've got the Emperor upright. So when it comes to family, they're going to see a very structured relationship. They're going to see the beauty in this relationship. They're going to know that you two belong together. They're going to know that there's success in this relationship. And so, it starts with the Emperor, and I got the Emperor in the previous reading, so, it's definitely a very inviting omen whenever you get the Emperor in a relationship reading, because this is the structure to something truly great. So your family is going to essentially look at this person and say, wow, this person is very structured, this person is very detailed, this person knows what they want, this person is headed towards something great, and this relationship is going to flourish into something beautiful. So your family is definitely on board with this. They're going to see the structure and the stability and the desire to be together, the desire to start something new, the desire to move forward, and actually be almost, for those of you that are very young, to be an adult, really. And so it's almost like if your family is really going to admire that you two are making a decision to pursue this. And I feel like maybe the relationship is definitely going to move rather quickly, which is one of the reasons why your friends are not going to be too on board, or their friends aren't going to be too on board with this, and they're not going to like the relationship because it's moving a little too quickly, right? And they would have preferred for it not to move so quickly. So for some reason, I'm seeing young people. I really am. I'm really seeing young people just kind of wanting to remain young, right? And not wanting to just for things to change too much, right? Very childish kind of outlook. It's like they're losing a friend, right? Because their friend is now getting serious, and this relationship is moving too quickly, and to them it's like you're not having enough fun, So there's an energy there with the friends, but your family is so enthralled and motivated and just really happy about this relationship. So you also have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is forward moving momentum, it's dynamism, it's an energy of success, it's an energy of new beginnings, but starting from a place of strength and the pursuit of that, of greatness, the pursuit of accomplishments. And so, the Knight of Wands will lead you towards the Emperor, if done right. And I feel like your family members, they're going to see that. They're going to see that this relationship has the foundation to be able to build and to be able to create and to be able to build a family, right? So this person, your partner, is going to essentially represent what they want. You know, they're going to be able to kind of check off every single box that they've been wanting for you, for the whoever's watching this. And so your family is really going to be happy about this, very, very happy about this relationship. And that's big. Now, I wanted to do a little bit more digging as to why you got, the Five of Cups reversed, the Six of Swords reversed in your friends and society. And I got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is interesting because, in all of the Rider-Waite illustrations, you have a priest, right? And it's the priest that brings two people together in holy matrimony. And so there's marriage, right? There's definitely a sense here of marriage. And once you marry someone, it's like life changes completely, right? It's like everything changes. It's really, really dynamic. It's like now life has taken on a whole new meaning. And so these friends know it, right? These friends know it. And I feel like your relationship is going to move so quickly that you're going to get to this point very, very fast. And it's going to mean change, and change quickly. So this relationship has the potential for that. It definitely will reach this place, this marriage rather quickly, because that's kind of the energy with this person. If you do pursue this relationship, for those of you that are maybe, looking at maybe a crush or a potential admirer, that relationship, if pursued, has the potential of moving rather quickly. And for those of you that obviously are looking at this reading and thinking about that person that you are going to marry and that future partner and that soulmate, definitely the fact that they are your soulmate and that you are going to marry them, that is something that your friends are not going to be very happy with, but your family members are. Your family members are going to see the beauty. They're going to see the structure. They're going to see the stability. They're going to see the ability to create something out of nothing, right? And so that is definitely very telling. And with the Hierophant, that it just talks about that potential, right? You've got also here some ox symbolism. The ox symbolism is prosperity, financial prosperity, career prosperity, relationship, just prosperity in general. You've got the mother bear here. That also symbols that it's a symbol of family as well. It's a symbol of your family taking care of you and your family essentially supporting you. So it really tells us that this relationship is going to be very successful. It's very interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and throw some oracle cards. Let's go ahead and throw a card from the Eyes of the Soul. Let's see what the Eyes of the Soul want to tell us potentially about this relationship, right? Now that we know exactly how everyone thinks, let's talk about the relationship a little bit. And let's see what the Eyes of Soul is telling us about it. Magic is alive. Ask your divine child. Wow, this is nice. Magic is alive. Ask your divine child. So, when I look at this card and when I think of this relationship, I immediately think that this is definitely almost a soulmate connection. This connection is a connection that is going to change you in many ways. There is magic surrounding it. And so the fact that you're being asked to ask your divine child is essentially a reminder of what is it that you've always wanted in a person. So, for those of you that maybe there was any doubt, maybe you're asking yourself, okay, is this crush or admirer, for those of you that are choosing to use this reading as such, really just try and talk to that inner child that's inside of you. That child will never die. It's always there. And think back as to what that child saw as almost beautiful, and alive and magical. And see if maybe this relationship will provide that for you. For those of you that are just waiting for that future partner, just know that person is going to offer you this. This person is going to 100% satisfy you in every way. All right, so let's go ahead and throw a card from the Sacred Forest. Let's see what the Sacred Forest has to tell us. Success. Wow. So we have a confirmation of it, right? So this relationship has the keyword success attached to it, and that is very important, right? Success in all areas. A secret spring. So it's like this relationship is going to be so, I would say, vibrant and alive, and just so magical and so beautiful that it is going to be 100% a success story. So I guess that these cards are kind of coming out now to kind of tell you that, hey, these people that really don't see that beauty, they're kind of looking at things from a very selfish kind of perspective. This relationship is going to be very successful, very beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this going. We're going to throw a card from the Priestess of Light Oracle. Let's see what the Priestess of Light Oracle has to share with us, shall we? Oh my, this is the exact same reading. I mean, not the exact same reading, but it is very similar to group number one, because group number one had the Emperor and also power over difficulty, reclaiming your power. So this is interesting. I feel like this card is essentially shining some light as to any kind of negative energy, any kind of negative influence, or people that might come at you, your friends, and tell you this isn't going to work out, this person is terrible. Sometimes we want to consult with people and we want to try and get their input and insight, and that is a very wise thing to do. The problem is when you don't have your own kind of common sense and way of thinking, and you're just kind of led astray by whatever the other person says. So think for yourself, really feel this energy through, listen to your intuition, and that is the way that you reclaim your power. Listen to everyone's opinion if you need to, but make the decision based from a place of just internal satisfaction, your intuition. What do you feel is right in this situation? So power over difficulty, reclaiming your power. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw a card from the Goddess of Love Oracle. Let's go ahead and throw one Goddess of Love Oracle and see what message we get from her. Let's see. Oh, hope. Look at that. So you've got the hope card. Out of darkness comes light. That's beautiful. So the only darkness that we have in this reading is essentially your friends, right? What they think, their friends, what they think. So there is that darkness. And this card is essentially telling you to have some hope there, because out of that darkness will come light. So I guess, out of that energy of just we don't like them or they don't like us or whatever, will come some kind of new opportunity. And so you're being asked to stay hopeful in that situation. In this case, maybe they'll change their minds. And a lot of times whenever people have some kind of negative ideas about us, or they feel a certain way, it really exposes them. Because sometimes they just can't hold it in. They have to tell you how they feel, because there's this energy of just hate, and the ego kind of takes over. And so they reveal their intentions, and it's up to you intuitively to pick up on that and make a decision at that point. That's another form of you reclaiming your power and seeing and truly understanding who's around you that actually means well for you, and who is there to really just kind of put you down, to talk bad about you, to gather information about you, to talk bad about you with other people. So cutting out those toxic energies from your space, getting rid of that's important. So hope, out of darkness comes light. All right, so that brings us to the very end of your reading. Thank you for watching group number 2. Don't forget that I started a Patreon page where I will be offering exclusive pick a card weekly readings. Also, I've decided to add a raffle for a free private reading. I will be announcing the winner of that free private reading at the end of every month. This is going to be a monthly thing. Now, you must be a patron to be entered into the raffle. So the link is going to be below so that you can sign up and become a patron. Thank you for your support, seekers. Thank you for your love. Bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3. Welcome to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. We're going to try and answer the question, how people see you as a couple. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you, seekers, that I started a Patreon page where I will be offering exclusive Pick a Card weekly readings. I also decided to add a raffle for a free private reading. a free private reading, and I will be announcing the winner of that raffle at the end of every month. So this is going to be a monthly thing. You must be a patron to be entered into the raffle. The link is going to be in the description below. All right, so Seekers, in front of you, you have an oracle card from the Gratitude Oracle deck. And it's going to represent the theme of today's reading. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what that theme is. Oh, wow. So you've got here prayer. Interesting. You've got prayer, and you've got a mer person, mermaid, just kind of looking over the unfortunate situation here. It seems like a woman is got thrown off of a ship, and things are just not looking all that great, but you do have the protection of that mermaid. And so this is interesting. This is going to represent the theme of the reading. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in and throw some tarot and try and get an understanding of why prayer. And we're going to use the Star Tarot. As you Seekers know, I love this deck. So we're going to use the Star Tarot to help us out with this reading. But first I'm going to shuffle. All right. My, oh my. I am not going to lie to you, Seekers. This one is a toughie, okay? This one is a toughie. But we're going to dive right in. We're going to see what the Oracle cards have to say, all right? So we get started with the Seven of Swords reversed and the Hierophant reversed. Those two cards represent your friends. Your friends are not going to be very happy with this relationship, okay? They're going to feel like this relationship is a big mistake. And, partly the reason why is because of the Judgment card reversed. And so they're not going to feel like you have made the right judgment, So if you are potentially watching this reading because of a crush or an admirer that you've been kind of seeing and they're maybe around, and, just understand that your friends are simply not going to feel like that person is ideal. They're not going to like them. They're going to feel like that person is not good for you. Or that, this relationship just, unfortunately, it's not going to work out. And so, we go right back to the prayer card. People are going to try and help you out. They're going to try and make you understand that, hey, this relationship is like that ship out in the ocean that's just chaotic, okay? And you're going to get hurt. You're going to be thrown overboard, and we're there. We're going to help you. We're going to pray for you. So that's kind of the energy that I see with your friends. They're simply just not happy with this relationship. They're not going to feel like this is something that is going to assist you, or they just don't see it. They really don't. And then when we go to the parents, this is family right here. These two cards, we've got Four of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, and they're both reversed. So they're not going to be very happy either. So you've got essentially here Four of Wands, and the fact that it's reversed is talking about building a home. So your family's biggest concern is that, hey, there's no possibility of these people building a home together. And they're not going to be happy about that, because their biggest concern will be, hey, will this person be able to build a home? Is this a place that they can build? Is this a structure that they can sustain? Is there maybe potentially the opportunity for them to expand into something bigger? Is there the potential for some of you for children? And so it's like with the parents, they're going to look at this and they're going to say, no, it's not going to work out. And so then we have the Two of Pentacles reversed, and this is an indication that they're going to see that this relationship is very unbalanced, which is essentially what we have here, right? We have a balance, and if that balance is in any way, shape, or form rocked, you get it reversed, and that balance is just unfortunately not going to be there. So, the family, friends, they're not going to be on board with this relationship. They're somehow going to feel like, this, like for example, with the friends, the Seven of Swords, it talks about leadership. It talks about following a path. It talks about actually moving forward and getting something done and following a process. And so to them, to your friends, it's going to seem like they're incapable of doing this. They're incapable of following that path, following through on what they should be doing. And so it kind of leads into the Hierophant reverse, which is there's no tradition, there's no togetherness, there's no ritualistic process, and so it almost feels like, with your friends and the people around you, it's going to feel like there is no structure to the relationship. And it's going to seem just like that ship, right? In a chaotic ocean, just kind of the boat just kind of rocking everywhere, and so, unfortunately being thrown overboard. That's kind of the energy that I'm seeing here, Let's try and get a little more understanding, right? Because people are people, right? So let's see exactly why they think this. Let's see exactly their thought process and just the energies that are around you and why it's so chaotic. We're gonna use the tarot for this. We're gonna use the tarot and we're gonna try and get a little understanding. All right. So it looks like these friends of yours, the reason why they feel the way that they feel is the Three of Wands reversed. And so what I'm seeing here is people that are unfruitful themselves. They're unfruitful. Unfortunately, they haven't had a lot of success. And so there is a bit of hating going on as far as friends go. There is a bit of hating going on. And so it explains it perfectly, right? The reason why they simply don't see that there's any structure or stability and they see chaos. It's almost like a reflection of their life. So, don't worry too much about what your friends think. Unfortunately, this is something that has to do with themselves, how they're viewing their lives, how they're kind of walking in this world. It's been a bit chaotic for them. They haven't found prosperity. They haven't found what they want. They're going through some bad times themselves. And so they're kind of reflecting all of those things on your relationship. And they're going to want to do that more and more and more as the relationship progresses. So be very careful with what your friends have to say because they're not being genuine. This is a reflection of their insecurities, their instability. Now, when it comes, when it comes to your family, we have the King of Swords. And so the King of Swords upright is definitely a sign of intelligence, knowing, understanding. So your family members and their family members are definitely on the right path, right? They know essentially what needs to happen in order for there to be success. And their biggest concern is that the relationship is going to seem like there's no structure and it's unbalanced. So that's why we've got the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Wands reversed. You add those two up, you have 6. A 6 reversed is unbalanced energy. And so essentially what they're going to see is that unbalance. So for some reason, they feel like maybe financially this relationship is not there. Perhaps potentially maybe, it's going to require more work, more dedication to get to where you need to go. I feel like your family and their family, they value building a home above anything. And the fact that you've got the Four of Wands reversed tells me that they're going to see that and say, okay, this couple, unfortunately, they don't have the capacity of building a home together. And so what they're really looking for is a sign that, hey, they can right the ship. Okay, this ship right now is chaotic. We're praying that everything's going to work out fine. We hope. But we have some concerns, right? And so what they're hoping for is that you can right the ship by being financially prosperous, which they're not going to see right off the bat. They're not going to acknowledge that. Maybe they're not going to be too happy with the fact that you or them are making a certain amount, or that you're students, or that you're still trying. And so it's like maybe you should have waited before things got this serious. because you just financially are not in a position where you can afford a home. You can't afford to build a home. And so that is a problem, right? So they're going to see this relationship, your parents and your family members, and they're going to say, more work needs to be done. They need to right the ship financially. They need to answer the call, and they need to actually try and get this right. That's the only thing that I see here. So let's throw some oracle cards. Let's see what the oracle cards have to say about this relationship, right? Let's talk a little bit more about this relationship, and let's see what these oracle cards have to say. Wow, I keep getting the same oracle cards. This is kind of funny. All right, so you are cherished and protected. So this is a beautiful, beautiful omen. All right, you have angelic protection. So the fact that your parents, the fact that your family members, not parents, but family members, they see this chaotic energy, it doesn't make it right. It's just what they're seeing, right? It's all just what's being presented at this moment. It's someone else's opinion. It's not entirely true. So when we look at this oracle card and we try and ask the question, okay, is there any truth to that, right? There really isn't. You are going through a process of transformation. Potentially, your successes and their successes at that time will seem somewhat insignificant to your parents and their parents. But in reality, you're making strides. You're moving forward. So there's this energy of just protection in everything that you do. Right? We see this prayer energy here, where it's so much chaos. The seas are turning. There's a storm. There's lightning, and you fell overboard, and now you're being rescued. Right? That is very much the outlook of these people, but at the same time, it's not the reality of the relationship, right? The relationship is going to be one where you will be protected completely. They will be protected completely. There is protection here. All right, so don't be fearful that things aren't going to work out or that the future looks dim. What we're trying to really figure out is what other people's opinions of us are. And sometimes when we do that, you have to take into account that people just sometimes their opinions really are their own, right? Their own experiences. As we saw right now with your friends, obviously their failures are being projected on you, right? And so with your family members, it's also the same thing, but at the same time, it's like they're coming from a place of logical thinking. They want what's best for you guys, right? It's not that they're hating on you. They really truly want what's best for you. And so your family really wants to see these things met. And potentially, that's not going to be there when you first meet, but it will be there at some point. So again, you are cherished and protected. Beautiful, beautiful card. Let's go ahead and throw another oracle, the Sacred Forest Oracle. And let's see what the Sacred Forest Oracle has to say about this relationship, you two as couples. Courage. All right. Beautiful card to get. Beautiful card to get right now. Yes. So, courage, aspen spirit, right? Look at that beautiful home right there. Look at that castle. So this is a representation of where this relationship has the potential of going. This relationship has the potential to build many things. So this relationship has the potential of not only building a home, but a castle, a beautiful, beautiful structure that will withstand the test of time, that everyone can look at and say, oh, wow. So this is almost an encouraging sign for you, right? This is a sign that Spirit is giving you and saying, hey, yeah, people's opinion might be tough, and you may not like that they think that way, but don't listen too much to that, right? You, in this relationship, you guys will have the courage to move forward, to be prosperous, to shut some mouths up. And so just have that ability, right? To just look past all of that negative thinking and pessimism from people and understand that you are going to be able to have success, right? And just manifesting greatness for yourself. And so, in many ways, don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to that negativity. Just focus on what's in front of you. Focus on what you can control, and you will have success. You will have victory, and you will be able to shut those people up. And again, with family members, they really just want what's best for you. They want to know that you're going to be okay. All right, so it's more of a worry there, right? With friends, not so much. But anyways, let's keep this going. Let's throw some more oracle cards. We're going to throw a card from the High Priestess, or the Priestess of Light Oracle. Let's see what the Priestess of Light Oracle has to share with us about this relationship. Harvest. Oh boy, yeah, now we're getting some confirmations here, right? So the Priestess of Light is essentially telling you that there is a harvest coming, right? Gathering of blessings. So many blessings are coming in this relationship. There's going to be a harvest that you're going to be able to just, take advantage of, and that's huge. But obviously, for you to be able to gather that harvest, you have to go through the hard work of planting those seeds, watering them. You have to go through the hard work of just preparing the field. And throughout that whole time, people are going to look at you and they're going to judge you and they're going to say, hey, what happens if that harvest doesn't give you the yield that you're expecting, right? Things might get a little chaotic, but at the same time, you have to have that faith and you have to have the conviction that what you're doing is the right thing and that you're going to be able to be successful. And so what this card is telling you is that you will be successful in this relationship. You will have the harvest that you want. Be patient. You are protected. You are cherished. Have the courage to move forward with prosperity. Make sure that you're speaking words of victory in all areas. All right, so Seekers, that brings us to the very end. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, I have started a Patreon page. The link is down below. I am offering exclusive Pick a Card weekly readings in that Patreon. So I also decided to add a raffle for a free private reading. Now, I will be announcing the winner of that private reading at the end of every month. This is a monthly thing. And yes, you can potentially win it more than once, hopefully. There's very little people, so you have the odds of you winning are actually pretty high right now. I only have 6 patrons. So yeah, if you are entered into the raffle, you have a big percentage, a big chance of winning every month. And so I will be drawing at the end of the month, the very last day of the month, the winner, and I will be announcing it in the community. Again, the link is down below. Become a patron. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Seekers, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.